Hello and welcome to Prime at 9. I'm Naomi Kikon. Now the news in details. India's merchandise exports spurted to a record high of $418 billion in the 2021-22 fiscal on higher shipments of petroleum products, engineering goods, gem and jewelry and chemicals, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said on Sunday. Outbound shipments touched an all-time high of $40 billion in a month. In March 2022, Goyal told reporters. Exports stood at $34 billion in March 2021. Merchandise exports were worth $292 billion in FY 2020-21. India's merchandise exports had breached the targeted $400 billion mark on March 23 this year. The key export sectors which contributed to record healthy growth include petroleum products, engineering, gems and jewelry, chemicals and pharmaceuticals.
अभी जो सरकारी तंत्र है राज्यों में केंद्र में सबको जो प्रोत्साहन भी किया उसी की वजह से मैं समझता हूं देश में ये आत्मविश्वास जगा कि हम ऐसे बड़े लक्ष्य को प्राप्त कर पाएंगे। मैं आज देश के सभी एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन काउंसिल्स, एमएसएमई सेक्टर के हमारे निर्यातक, हमारे किसान भाई बहन, हमारे जितने मिशंस हैं विश्व भर में जिन्होंने बहुत अहम भूमिका निभाई इसमें, हमारे सभी अधिकारी, सिर्फ कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री नहीं लेकिन पूरी सरकार के अधिकारी, सभी राज्य सरकारें, सभी का तहे दिल से धन्यवाद भी करता हूं और उनको बधाई भी देता हूं आज के इस बहुत प्रमुख उपलब्धता पर।
Pakistan President Arif Alvi on Sunday dissolved the National Assembly and the Provincial Assemblies on the advice of Prime Minister Imran Khan. This means that a caretaker government will be put in place in the next 8 days and the elections are to be held within 3 months. Pakistan Minister Fawad Chaudhary tweeted that the federal cabinet has been dissolved and Imran Khan will continue his duties under Article 224 of the Pakistani Constitution. As per his clause on dissolution of the assembly on completion of the term or if President dissolves it in his discretion that electorate is necessary, Article 58, a caretaker cabinet shall be appointed under a caretaker Prime Minister. The caretaker PM shall be appointed by the President in consultation with the incumbent PM and the leader of opposition in the outgoing assembly. The move comes after the no-confidence motion against Imran Khan was dismissed by the Deputy Speaker in the National Assembly. The Punjab Assembly also met for 6 minutes and has been adjourned till April 6.
किसी बाहर की कुव्वत, किसी करप्ट लोगों ने फैसला नहीं करना कि इस मुल्क का मुस्तकबिल क्या होगा। आपने फैसला करना है इस मुल्क का और इंशाअल्लाह हम प्रेसिडेंट साहब को जो मेरा जब एडवाइस चला जाएगा असेंबलीज डिसॉल्व हो जाएंगी और फिर आगे जो भी प्रोसीजर है अगले इलेक्शन का केयर टेकर गवर्नमेंट का वो अब शुरू हो जाएगा। मैं अपनी कौम को मुबारक देता हूं और मैं अल्लाह का शुक्र अदा करता हूं कि इतनी बड़ी साजिश जो मुल्क से की जा रही थी, एक इलेक्टेड 22 करोड़ की कौम जिसकी इलेक्टेड हुकूमत को गिराने की कोशिश की गई है, इस साजिश से वो आज फेल हो गई है।
Pakistan descended into political turmoil after President Arif Alvi dissolved the National Assembly after the no-confidence motion against Imran Khan was dismissed in the House. The opposition resumed the session of Assembly and not only declared Deputy Speaker's order rejecting the no-confidence motion as invalid, but also declared Shehbaz Sharif as a new Prime Minister. Shehbaz Sharif, the brother of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, also addressed the Assembly as the new Prime Minister. Pakistan People's Party leader Sherry Rehman tweeted a video wherein she claimed 197 members had elected PMLN MP Ayaz Sadiq as the new Speaker. After Sadiq occupied the Speaker's chair, he reactivated the voting on no-confidence motion against the Imran Khan government, which was voted in favor of the motion as the members of the ruling alliance had already left the House. While former PM Imran Khan may think that he has bowled a political coup by dissolving House and calling for elections, this is exactly the thing that exiled PMLN founder Nawaz Sharif wanted in the first place. Pakistan People's Party leader Bilawal Bhutto Zardari said the opposition will move to Supreme Court soon after embattled Prime Minister Imran Khan said on Sunday he had advised President Arif Alvi to dissolve Parliament after the National Assembly's Deputy Speaker declined to hear a no-confidence motion against Khan.
को पता है और आज खुद वज़ीर-ए-आज़म स्पीकर बाकी सब ने देख लिया कि ऑपोजिशन का तादाद मुकम्मल था। हमारे पास अक्सरियत है कि हम वज़ीर-ए-आज़म को अदम एतमाद में शिकस्त दिलवाएं। आज ये नजर आते हुए आखिरी मौके पे स्पीकर साहब ने गैर आईनी काम किया है। पाकिस्तान का आईन तोड़वाया गया है। पाकिस्तान के आईन को तोड़ने का सजा वाज़ेह है। अदम एतमाद का वोटिंग आज ही होना है आईन के मुताबिक। यूनाइटेड ऑपोजिशन ने यह फैसला किया है कि हम नेशनल असेंबली में धरना देंगे जब तक हमारा आईनी हक ना दिया जाए।
Pakistan military spokesman Major General Babar Iftikhar has denied any sort of involvement of the army in the prevailing political situation in the country. The military spokesman made the remarks while speaking to a private TV channel over the rejection of a no-confidence motion and subsequent dissolution of the National Assembly by President Arif Alvi on the advice of Prime Minister Imran Khan. The army has absolutely nothing to do with what happened in the NA today, Iftikhar said. Terming it unconstitutional under Article 5, Deputy Speaker Kazim Suri earlier on Sunday dismissed the no-confidence motion submitted by the joint opposition to dislodge the Prime Minister. It provided space for the Prime Minister to send advice to the President about the dissolution of the lower house. A no-confidence motion was moved by the opposition on March 8, but Prime Minister Khan fought back by declaring it a foreign conspiracy to topple his elected government. According to Prime Minister Khan, the top army leadership met him last week and offered 3 options to resolve the political impasse, which included his resignation, facing no confidence, or calling early elections. The governments of Punjab and Haryana have locked horns over the issue of the state capital, Chandigarh. After Punjab, now the BJP-led Haryana government has followed suit by convening a special assembly session on April 5 to discuss various issues, including the long-pending demand to transfer Chandigarh back to Haryana and the transfer of Hindi-speaking areas to the state. The decision to call the special assembly session was taken at a cabinet meeting held at the residence of Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. The special day-long session of the State Assembly, according to a state government spokesperson, will begin at 11 a.m. on April 5. Haryana has expressed surprise over Punjab's sudden move to stake claim to Chandigarh. CM Manohar Lal Khattar said that Punjab should have taken into confidence all the stakeholders before raising such a demand. Meanwhile, Haryana Home Minister Anil Vij slammed Punjab for demanding Chandigarh and said the Aam Aadmi Party was a bacha party which was unaware about the real issues concerning both the states. Almost a week after being sworn in, Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has allocated portfolios to his 8 cabinet colleagues as he retained the Home and Finance ministries that he had held in the last 3 years of his previous tenure. As per the notification issued on Sunday, Swine also holds the personal, vigilance and official language portfolios. Former independent MLA from Porvorim, Rohan Kaunde, who joined the party Janda Party ahead of the assembly polls, has also been given the important tourism portfolio and other major departments like information technology and printing and stationery. Panaji MLA Adanasio Monserrate will be the Minister for Revenue, the portfolio held by his wife, Jennifer Monserrate, in the previous Swine government, along with Labour and Waste Management. Viswajit Rane retained the Health and Women and Child Development portfolios and got other weighty departments like Town and Country Planning, Urban Development and Forest. A new entrant in Swine's cabinet, former Chief Minister Ravi Naik, who quit the Congress to join the BJP ahead of the polls in February, has been assigned to Agriculture, Handicrafts and Civil Supplies portfolios. Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh Chief Mohan Bhagat on Sunday expressed hope that the Kashmiri pandits were displaced from their homes in the 1990s will soon return back as Hindus and Bharat Bhakt. Bhagwat also said Kashmiri pandits bearing the brunt of getting displaced from our home in our own country for the last 3 to 4 decades. It's imperative that we shouldn't accept defeat in this situation and face challenges, he added.
विस्थापन की विभीषिका का सत्य चित्र संपूर्ण दुनिया के सामने लाने वाला कश्मीर फाइल्स नाम का एक चित्रपट है। कुछ लोग उसके पक्ष में, कुछ लोग उसके विपक्ष में, कुछ लोग आधा मानकर आधे को थोड़ा बदलो ऐसा कहने वाले ऐसे अनेक प्रकार दिखते हैं। परंतु भारतवर्ष का सामान्य जनमानस ये कह रहा है कि इस विदारक सत्य को फिर से सारी दुनिया के सामने लाके इस फिल्म ने न केवल कश्मीर के विस्थापित लोगों की व्यथा हमारे सामने रखी, उसने हमको झंझोड़कर जागवाया। हमको कितना सजग रहना चाहिए, इसका भान हमको आ गया।
Amid a growing economic crisis and unrest among people, the Sri Lanka government has imposed a nationwide social media blackout after midnight on Sunday, April 3, according to an internet observatory. The move comes amid an ongoing 36-hour curfew in the country. Some 24 social media platforms were affected, including Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok and Instagram. A London-based rights watchdog on Saturday warned the Sri Lankan government that the declaration of emergency in the island nation in the name of public security should not become a pretext for human rights violations. On Friday, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa issued the extraordinary gazette declaring a state of public emergency in Sri Lanka with immediate effect. The South Asian nation is facing severe shortages of food, fuel and other essentials, along with sharp price rises and crippling power cuts in its most painful downturn since independence from Britain in 1948. Fuel prices continue to rise, with petrol and diesel rates rising by another 80 paisa per litre on Sunday, taking the total increase in rates in less than 2 weeks to INR 8 per litre. In the national capital, petrol now costs INR 103.41 litre, while diesel is selling at INR 94.67 per litre. In Mumbai, the petrol has gone up by 84 paisa, thus costing INR 118.41, and diesel prices have been hiked by 85 paisa, costing INR 102.64 per litre. Punjab's Enforcement Directorate has filed a charge sheet against the nephew of former Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Chani and one more person in an illegal sand mining case under money laundering charges. Officials said that the charge sheet has been filed against Chani's nephew Bhupinder Singh alias Sani and his aide Kutardeep Singh alias Lovi in the Court of Special Prevention of Money Laundering Act Judge Rubinderjit Chahal. The court has fixed April 6 as the next date of hearing in the case. As per details available, the charge sheet was filed on March 31 under Sections 3 Offence of Money Laundering, Section 4 Punishment for Money Laundering, Section 44 Offence Triable by Special Courts and Section 45 Offences to be cognizable and non-bailable of PMLA 2002 against Hani and Gurtardeep Singh. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur in Chandigarh expressed his confidence for Bharatiya Janata Party win in the upcoming assembly elections of Himachal Pradesh and Gujarat. He also hit out at Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal. At the end of the year, BJP will come again in Himachal Pradesh and in Gujarat as well. Modi is globally known as the world's most loved leader. We started campaigning very late in Punjab, but our seats didn't reduce. Our vote share has also increased, he added.
केजरीवाल जी मोदी जी के खिलाफ भी लड़े, क्या हालत हुई आपने देखा ही था। उत्तर प्रदेश के एक भी सीट ना जीत पाए, 397 सीटों पर जमानत जब्त हो गई। और यही नहीं, हालत देखिए उनकी उत्तराखंड में क्या हुई, गोवा में क्या हुई। मुझे लगता है कि कई बार केवल मीडिया के माध्यम से हवा बनाने का काम किया जाता है, जमीन पर कुछ नहीं होता जी। कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लोकतंत्र में जितने लोग आए भला है, कहाँ कमी है। हमने अच्छा काम किया चारों राज्यों में जहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकारें थी, मणिपुर, उत्तराखंड, गोवा, उत्तर प्रदेश, पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ सभी राज्यों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की वापस सरकार आई है।
The Mizoram government banned the import of pigs and pork products after new cases of African swine fever were detected in the state as per official notification. There will be a complete ban on the import of live pigs, fresh pork and other pork products, including frozen pork, from other states and other countries until further orders, said a notification issued on Saturday. The Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Department will ensure mandatory disinfection of pig rearing premises and enforce strict hygiene measures and isolation of suspected pigs, it said. The department will also ensure the safe disposal of pig carcass in accordance with the National Action Plan for Control, Containment and Eradication of African Swine Fever, it added. In the latest wave, 384 pig deaths have been reported. The latest deaths were reported from across 5 districts as per officials. ASF had claimed the lives of 33,417 pigs between March and November last year, causing losses of Rs 60.82 crore. Former Prime Minister of Pakistan Nawaz Sharif was attacked in London last night, a day ahead of current PM Imran Khan's no-confidence vote today. As per Pakistani media, the attackers were affiliated with Imran Khan's Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI party. Ahmed Noorani, a reporter with Fact Focus in Pakistan, said on Twitter that Nawaz Sharif was attacked by an activist of the ruling Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party. The journalist informed that Nawaz Sharif's escort was injured in the attack. His daughter Mariam Nawaz Sharif condemned the attack and called for the arrest of the PTI activists, including Imran Khan. Those of PTI who resort to violence or create a law and order situation should be arrested and thrown behind bars, Imran Khan included. Imran Khan should be booked for provocation, incitement and sedition. Will be, inshallah, none of them should be spared, she tweeted. Addressing the roadshow in Ahmedabad, Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann said that after the Aam Aadmi Party's landslide victory in the Punjab and Delhi, they are now preparing for Gujarat. Delhi and Punjab sorted, now we are preparing for Gujarat, Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann added. Legislative Assembly elections will be held in Gujarat in December 2022.
जब रामलीला ग्राउंड में तिरंगों को देखने के लिए पूरा देश आया था, तब अरविंद केजरीवाल जी उस वक्त स्टेज पर हुआ करते थे। आजकल वो देश के सबसे ज्यादा क्रांतिकारी मुख्यमंत्री हैं दिल्ली के, और पंजाब में आम आदमी पार्टी ने झंडे गाड़े हैं। अब दिल्ली और पंजाब तो हो गया, अब दिल्ली और पंजाब तो हो गया, हमारी तैयारी है गुजरात की। इनकलाब, इनकलाब।
President Ramnath Kovind, during his visit to Turkmenistan, said that India considers Turkmenistan as part of its extended neighborhood. This month, India and Turkmenistan are celebrating 30th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relations. The countries share historical and civilizational linkages. India considers Turkmenistan as part of its extended neighborhood, he said. He is on a 3-day visit to the country to discuss ways to boost bilateral ties with the resource-rich Central Asian country, Turkmenistan.
India and Turkmenistan are celebrating the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. All these make this visit very special. As you are aware, India and Turkmenistan share historical and civilizational linkages. Our peoples and cultures have mingled over centuries. Numerous archaeological discoveries have proved the close exchanges our societies had in the past, from Indus Valley civilization through common Buddhist heritage and the Mughal period.
Nationalist Congress Party NCP President Sharad Pawar on Sunday put to rest speculations over him eyeing the chairmanship of the United Progressive Alliance, days after the NCP youth wing passed a resolution proposing his name for the post. The NCP chief said that he won't lead an anti-BJP front and is not keen to become the chairman of the UPA, but added that he is ready to cooperate, support and strengthen any bloc if an attempt is made to provide an alternative to the party Janata Party. He also said that the Congress cannot be excluded from any initiative aimed at providing an alternative to the BJP at the centre. When asked about the Congress' role in leading a front against the BJP, Pawar said the Congress has a pan-India presence even though the grand old party is not in power. Taking a dig at the BJP-led central government, Pawar said that allegations were raised that the Enforcement Directorate is used for extorting money. Before and after raids are conducted, there are talks about settlements with ED officials. If this is true and the government is not reining the agency, then the centre should answer if anyone asks whether they are involved in corruption, Pawar added. As the declining trend of COVID-19 cases in the country continues, India on Sunday reported 1,096 new infections in the last 24 hours, as per the Union Health Ministry. With this, the active caseload of the virus in India stands at 13.13, constituting 0.03% of the country's total positive cases. The weekly positivity rate in the country currently stands at 0.23%, while the daily positivity rate was reported to be 0.24%. As many as 1,447 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours in the country. That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.